and welcome to the 55th Annual Butler Spirit of Christmas Parade. I'm Tracy Morgan, along with Bob Cup today, and we're going to be here throughout the parade. It's snowing just a bit, Bob, and it's a perfect evening, I believe.
Yeah, it truly is. It's December. It's, well, approaching December, put it that way. You're probably watching this in December. But, the timing of this was perfect. It was about 10 minutes ago. There was nothing going on. A little bit of wind picked up, and all of a sudden, it began to snow, just like the flakes that we have along the street. So I guess the atmosphere is set and we're ready to have some fun
I
tonight.
know, it is fantastic and it's great. And we're going to be talking about some things throughout the parade with the Butler Radio Network. Of course, Butler Radio Network is putting this parade on along with Peoples. And this is the 55th Annual Spirit of Christmas Parade, again being brought to you by Butler Radio Network and Peoples Gas, making your life better. Now, Peoples is the largest natural gas distribution company in Pennsylvania, providing reliable, low-cost natural gas service to approximately 700,000 customers in Western Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Kentucky. And today, Peoples continues to grow by investing in our infrastructure. But they're more than just an energy company. They are also a committed community partner, supporting innovation, infrastructure, and the environment and the people who live and work in this region. Part of that community support is their partnership in tonight's parade. So thank you so much for Peoples being a part of this. It's setting the pace for the parade as employees of Peoples Gas are going to carry the banner to start us off right after the City of Police right here. With them are going to be Mayor Ben Smith and also members of the City Police Force and Fire Department. Of course, we're starting off with the City Police right in front of us now.
And Sheriff Mike Sloop right behind as well, joining with the City Police on display here. And it's a great evening, a little bit of a theme for the parade this year, presented by the Butler Radio Network and Peoples. It was a superhero Christmas, and we saw a lot of young people dressed up as their favorite superhero, so I guess you mix a little bit of Halloween into Christmas as well. But the entries for floats this year were encouraged to incorporate a superhero theme into it, so it's always fun to see the creative ways that groups are going to combine Christmas and that theme together. So we're expecting to see all types of superheroes tonight, Tracy.
Yes, because it doesn't mean a superhero just has to be a Marvel or DC character. I mean, it can be who is a superhero to you. And so that's going to be a nice variety tonight as we watch the parade.
And I notice with Mayor Ben Smith, the incoming mayor, first part of next year is Bob Dandoy.
Yes.
Congratulations to Bob. Coming up behind, you'll see the CB Rangers. They've been serving Butler County since 1962, and you'll see their van. They're assisted by a group of dedicated volunteers offering a wide range of services, including parking, crowd and traffic control, emergency service assistance. And as they have for so many years, the CB Rangers are working traffic control for tonight's parade and festivities, and we thank them for their time and dedication and hard work. You'll see them at many different events. And one example of downtown Butler is when they run the Butler Road Race. You'll have the CB Rangers at every street corner making sure that the runners are protected and that people can get through as they do traverse the various parts of the city. And it's great to have their assistance, especially here tonight because such a large crowd here in downtown Butler.
And they do so much that we don't see, so we do thank them for being in the parade and are very grateful that they're with us today. And thank you again so much for watching the Butler Parade in downtown Butler. Of course, you can always hear our stations on the air at WISR 680 AM and 107.5 FM and WBUT 1050 AM 97.3 FM and of course the rock station 97.7 FM. The Chaleur Dance School is here. The Chaleur School of Dance has provided 37 years of excellence in dance education to all ages. Preschool through adult, their program is a pathway of dance development for the recreational, pre-competitive, and competitive student. Owner Lori Portman Lewis and her staff are committed to quality dance education. Tonight, the dancers present a festive sensation of a rocket-style reindeer, Raggedy Anns, also candy canes, and pom-pom dancers as well.
Great display, and the Raggedy Ann dancers out in front of the crowd right now. Some of our parade sponsors tonight, including Peoples, an essential utilities company, is McDonald's Restaurants, Shaner Automotive, the Law Office of Dillon, McCandless King, Coulter, and Graham, also TJ Maxx. And as the parade continues throughout the evening, you will see some banners representing some of those parade sponsors. As a matter of fact, coming up behind the Chaleur School of Dance is the banner from Rural King, located up at the Clearview Mall. And coming up the street behind them is
I do
the
believe
Grand
it's this.
Marshal.
Yeah, this year's theme, of course, is a superhero Christmas.
Superheroes, of course, come in all shapes and sizes, all forms of walks of life. And you're going to see that as we mentioned tonight. But we're honored tonight to have Aria Olson and her family as our Grand Marshal for 2021. The Olson family represents all of the families who have a superhero family member receiving cancer treatment or experiencing challenging circumstances. Riding with Aria tonight are her parents, Adam and Chelsea, and her 2 younger sisters are in the back, Everly and Leah. They're riding in a wagon that is being pulled by a team of halflingers. All the horses, by the way, there's Carmel, Bentley, Montana, and Bradley. They're siblings and have participated in our parade many times over the years. They competed several local fairs over the summer as well, so maybe you've spotted them before. They are owned and being driven by Kiri Lockheiser. We wish you the very best to the entire Olson family for the best Christmas and thank them for serving as our General Grand Marshal tonight.
And I love the fact that our next group have dogs in it, but they are the Butler Dog Training Group. They're the association that are next up in our parade. And they are a nonprofit organization that has been serving the Butler community for nearly 40 years. Their main goals, training, education, and service, and they have one of the largest therapy dog programs in Western Pennsylvania. They're represented tonight by a number of their members and four-legged friends, of course, all decked out for the holidays and with those fantastic sweaters on. I love those.
They're staying nice and warm.
They are.
Some beautiful pups out there, no doubt about it.
And of all sizes, look at the little tiny one that's coming through. I love the little tiny one, and you got the larger ones as well. So it is fantastic to be able to see the dogs as they come through.
Counted, 14
Wow.
different representatives, canines, with us here tonight. Coming up, you'll also see the Butler Radio Network banner, mention of the folks that are here tonight. And have been throughout the day. We are actually raising money for the Salvation Army earlier today on 3 different street corners with the Butler Radio Network, and we're proud to present the Spirit of Christmas Parade each and every year and have for a number of years, and it's just great to be back with you after not having.
Right, absolutely. And a lot of folks throughout the past few parades have seen our banners that say Butler Radio Network and then see 3 different radio stations. And that's because the company, the Butler Radio Network, owns all 3 radio stations. Again, you have WISR, WBUT, and WLER. So thank you so much for allowing us to bring you another great parade.
One of our account executives, Lisa Marie Kendrick, and her husband walking up the street with the banner. And they're followed by the Butler County Dairy Promotion Board, helping superheroes build up their strength. Milk, cheese, and yogurt are the secret weapons that help them get through the long nights of their crime fighting. Every dairy product has 13 essential nutrients that help keep our heroes energized. Let's join these well-known superheroes and support our local secret superheroes. That's Butler County's 24 dairy farm families by enjoying delicious dairy products this holiday season and all year long. Of course, we know that Santa certainly loves a glass of local milk with his cookies when he visits your home. Butler County Dairy Promotion Team reminds you that not all heroes wear capes.
Next up is the Miss Rodeo PA Scholarship Pageant winners. Each year, Miss Rodeo PA is selected as an ambassador for professional rodeo, Western heritage, and the great state of PA. Now, our title holder educates the general public on topics including ranching and farming heritage and the agricultural industry as well, and the sport of rodeo. A fabulous float, and it's so nice to see them as they come by. I love the cowboy hats, or cowgirl hats, whichever way you'd like to say it.
See the bales of hay that they're camped out on, and the tree with some presents underneath. So everybody's been good with the boys and girls this year so far. Coming up the Main Street corridor right now are the Butler Center for Performing Arts dancers. And they're performing tonight under the direction of Buddy Thompson, who has been a part of the community for so very long. Butler Center for the Performing Arts offers classes in dance, voice, and acting by certified experienced instructors. And they'll be performing with you tonight behind their banter. Going to be a great little performance here. Look at the decorations, very Christmas tree themed, if you will. It's great to have them part of the Spirit of Christmas Parade for 2021.
As we go throughout the parade, again, it's a superhero Christmas, so you'll see different themes of who is their superhero? You know, is it somebody in your life? Is it a medical worker? Is it an actual DC character? Is it a Marvel character? You know, who is your hero? Now, up next in our lineup is a trio of local nonprofit organizations that offer a variety of services to Butler County residents. The Center for Community Resources helps connect individuals to services and information for mental health, intellectual disabilities, substance abuse, and other needs. The Alliance for Nonprofit Resources provides professional services for businesses in need, including HR, IT support, and executive management and coaching as well. And then you also have with this group the Nonprofit Development Corporation, supporting individuals and organizations as they obtain technical assistance and affordable space and funding opportunities as well. They're representing the Green Lantern, I should say, talking about superheroes. They're representing the Green Lantern tonight in keeping with our superhero theme.
Here you see the WBUT banner, Butt Kickin' Country, 1050 AM and 97.3 FM. Also WBUT.com. Right now, carrying Penn State football, but home of NASCAR racing, Butler football and basketball, the Superstore, and of course the best in country music, and this time of year, the best in holiday country music as well. And by the way, if you'd like to donate to the Salvation Army and their Red Kettle campaign, you can text WBUT to 71777 as we try to beat our sister stations in the fundraising. But we have the first marching band in tonight's parade, Tracy. It's making our way up Main Street, and this is actually a combination of two high school bands, the Carn City Gremlins under the direction of Amanda Pivriato, and the Montauk Warriors under the direction of William Weltman. On the playing field, they might be rivals, but tonight they're joining together, and you can listen in for the hard-rocking holiday parade and Jingle Bells. Let's give them a listen. Gremlins and Warriors marching together.
Right, and I love that. I love when bands support other bands, and in this sense, they came together to march together, and that's always nice. I always loved when we were in band, and you'd always wait for the other performance to finish before you'd go on with your night. You're just supporting each other in that way.
It was great to see them earlier in, the last month, the Veterans Day Parade. We saw both. They weren't together at that point, they were separate, but tonight joining together to present some of the sounds of the season as the snow flies here in downtown Butler. You're watching on Armstrong, the Spirit of Christmas Parade, 55th annual, presented by Peoples, an essential utility company, and we thank them for the use of their front yard for tonight's broadcast. And
it's a great place to be. Absolutely, and thank you to a couple of our sponsors as well, McDonald's Restaurants and Shaner Automotive and Rural King and TJ Maxx as well, and the law office of Dylan McCandless, King, Coulter, and Graham. Thank you so much for being on board with this, and of course we'll talk about many others as we go throughout for those who are helping us out as we get through the parade today.
Looks like the Junior Women's Club coming through right now, and looks like they're tossing out some treats to the crowd.
I see the commissioners there, and there's Commissioner Geyer right in front of us, and yeah, they're pulling up, and so that's fantastic.
We were helping to stuff the bus earlier today, and this is a familiar sight each time of year with the Butler Transit Authority and their American-made classic red trolley bus that is decked out in its Santa costume. They call it the Santa bus. Now, if you see this, the costume is made from more than 17 yards of fabric, 12 yards of Velcro, and piles of stuffing. Traveling with the bus are members of the Transit Authority Board, as well as some of our local elected officials. The authority serves the city of Butler, Butler Township, and parts of Center and Summit Townships as well. And they operate the commuter bus service as well between Butler and Pittsburgh, traveling every day. And be sure to stop by if you didn't get down today to help stuff the bus. They will be at the Target parking lot tomorrow from 10 to 5 to help stuff the bus to benefit Salvation Army.
And following, if you've been dreaming about an affordable getaway for the entire family to enjoy, you can imagine lounging by the pool, hiking through the woods, or playing miniature golf, or camping with your family. You can do all this and more at Yogi Bear's Jellystone Park in Harrisville. Aboard their fire truck that you just saw, of course, Yogi's walking a little bit behind there, and he's hunting for a picnic basket, of all things, right?
We also have the Butler Radio Network van coming through under the operation of Mr. Scott Briggs, one of our owners, Vice President of Broadcast Operations, and playing some sounds of the season that you get to hear. WISR, all continuous Christmas music right now, where the rock station 97.7 and WBUT also are sampling in some Christmas music. But they're also being joined by our friends from Dragonfly Balloons. Yep, that's an actual balloon that you're seeing coming through right now. And if you need a fun addition to a party or an event, why not give Dragonfly Balloons a call? They are fantastic, the work they do, and they really do it up on the spot.
A new entry this year to our parade is City Landscape Supply, and they are locally owned and operated, and they are the best location in the city for all your landscaping needs. And that can include mulching, stone, plants, a whole lot more in that too. And right now they have firewood and fresh cut trees as well. That is City Landscape Supply.
And they have some superheroes on the back, look.
It's been a fantastic night with the snow flying a little bit, and of course we continue with our superhero Christmas, and of course the Wonder Women of Butler County, not just one, a bunch. The GFWC, the Junior Women's Club. The club is made up of women aged 21 to 50 with diverse backgrounds and interests. Their focus is on community improvement and personal development. The General Federation of Women's Clubs is the largest non-denominational, nonpartisan organization of volunteer women in the world, and provides women of all backgrounds an opportunity to take an active role in community, state, and world events, making them all Wonder Women.
C.J. Klein and his daughter Avery with the Rock Station banner, and behind them is Band Jam, Grassy Award-winning band Half Wheel, with their song Good Day, which was voted on by the Rock Station listeners. And Jazz Byers wrote this song, and he's got quite a operation. He's got his own studio, but these guys are part of a great band, and they are actually going to be traveling later tonight down to do some performing. Congratulations to Grassy winner Half Wheel.
And then following is the Miss Military Star organization. Miss Military Star is a service-based organization that raises money for military organizations across the country, not just here, but across the country. Their queens use this year of rain to volunteer with veterans and service members, along with doing charity work for military organizations as well.
We see the Lick Hill Volunteer Fire Department coming through, the first responders up on the hill. It sort of overlooks the Butler area. And if you're ever up at Butler Hospital and you look up to the hill, well, that's Lick Hill. And they are coming through with some of their vehicles, a rescue vehicle, and their brush truck as well. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for your service and great work that you do. And I know for many, many years, they've always had some great barbecue chicken get-togethers.
Ah, yes, absolutely. Now, of course, you can tell which ones are the emergency vehicles because following are a little smaller. These are the Butler Bantams, and it is incredible to see them drive these vehicles and how small they are. Of course, there's the Jeep. Everybody loves the Jeep, and there it is right there in the parade. So thank you so much for being a part of the parade.
Good to see them. Built right here in Butler. How about it? Coming up behind is Woodman Life, standing strong for generations, and they're honoring our everyday heroes. Look at them on the float tonight. You see a variety and a great sampling of our local first responders. At Woodman Life, they've been helping to protect the financial futures of families like yours, honoring our country since 1890, and as I said, standing strong for generations. Woodman Life, and they're one of our primary sponsors of the Rock Station's Band Jam Grassroots Music Festival, where Half Wheel played earlier this year. You heard the Grassy Award-winning band coming up through, and they are big advocates of local, our Woodman Life.
Another couple of well-known political figures next in the parade. Up next is Butler County's own Marcy Mostello in an antique pickup truck, and wishing all of Butler County a Merry Christmas. Representative Mostello's office is located in Butler Township, and she is available to help with any problem related to the state government. You can call her office for help with PennDOT, tax refunds, unclaimed property, and more. And then following Marcy Mostello is Mike Kelly, and of course you can see Mike Kelly's truck there, or it says Mike Kelly for Congress.
Back behind is 2 horses from the Rockdale farm. Now these are 2 registered Percheron draft horses owned by Bonnie Shearbaum and are being exhibited tonight by Vanessa Benetti and Shelley Zoli. The Rockdale farm horses participate in local shows and parades. And keep this in mind, friends, they're available for hire for weddings, sleigh rides, hay rides, wagon rides, and any special event.
As we continue with the parade, just another special thanks to Westminster Church for their hospitality and for their help tonight. The CB Rangers, of course, for the crowd control and the traffic services. The City Police and Mayor Ben Smith and Butler City Fire Department as well. And there are many, many more as we continue down this path.
Southwestern Pennsylvania Human Services Care Center carrying through with their banner. They provide mental health and drug and alcohol outpatient services, also offer group, home, and long-term residential programs for people with serious mental illness.
As we continue through the parade, up next will be a float from Schneider's 1 Hour representing the Incredibles. Again, we remind you that this is a superheroes Christmas, and many of our floats have decided to interpret who is a superhero to them, but they are going with the Incredibles, a great movie. Schneider's 1 Hour Heating and Air Condition is Butler's heating and cooling experts. Gary Schneider and his dedicated team have been providing Butler County residents on-time heating and cooling services since 1953. They respect and value your time, and like their motto says, always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Gee, Mr. Schneider, I see a superhero.
I'm hearing those commercials in my head as we talk. The best commercials, I love them.
Great sampling of some of the superheroes with the Schneider float as well.
And then our next float is a salute to American heroes, the military, by local pageant winners. The float is called Crowns That Care and is made up of 18 current title holders from several different pageants. They have come together to pay tribute to American heroes who serve our country in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines.
Coming up behind them are the East Butler Volunteer Fire Department, Engine Number 9. Coming through, a thank you to the first responders out in East Butler. Of course, they have been a part of the community for many, many years, serving. What a beautiful truck. Very, very beautiful looking in the snow tonight, Tracy, here at the 55th Annual Spirit of Christmas Parade. Again, presented in part by WBUT 1050 AM, the new 97.3 FM, WLER, the rock station 97.7 FM, and you see the banner of WISR, Butler's oldest radio station, 680 AM, and also the new 107.5 FM. You can catch some of the FM sounds on both of our longtime local AM stations nowadays if you're surrounding the Butler area. So it's great to see them here tonight.
And of course you have very well-known individuals on WISR, but also I want to mention a new young individual who has come with us, and that's Stax Wax. You hear him play actual records on Friday nights and special programming as well. He does a fantastic job.
And of course you can catch the Pittsburgh Steelers tomorrow on WISR. Of course, Pirate games, the Penguins, who are playing tonight, as a matter of fact. Also knock football and basketball. And don't forget, Let's Talk. You can hear Tracy Morgan daily after the news at noon.
You sure can, and thank you so much for joining us for every broadcast that we have. I believe this is First Baptist Christian School that is up next, and that is a private preschool through 12th grade in the city of Butler, and they help to seek local children and hope to help them get the best education possible in a smaller, more intimate setting, while helping them grow in their faith as well. And you can follow this school as we continue on down the parade, and it is wonderful to have them to be a part of this parade.
And following behind their float that says Jesus Christ is our superhero, they're cheerleaders, the FBCS Eagle Cheerleaders, made up of students from kindergarten through 6th grade. They love to cheer on the school's basketball team and help to keep spirits high. Look at the young performers from the First Baptist Christian School and their cheerleaders.
I know Bob was talking about before about the Red Kettle program, and if you would like to donate to the Red Kettle program, please do that. And we are trying to raise $1,000 each for each of our stations. So if you want to text, you can do that at 71777. You can just plug in whatever station you'd like. WLER, BUT, WISR. I know you keep pulling for BUT. I know it. I know it. So whatever station you'd like, you can also donate on our website. You can also go to butlerradio.com and access the opportunities that way as well. But here come the emergency vehicles once again, this time with the Oneida Valley Volunteer Fire Company. The department was established in 1954 and has 40 members who serve Oakland Township under Chief Gary Wolf. Now they have a total of 6 vehicles in service: an engine, a rescue vehicle, a brush truck, 2 tankers, and a UTV as well.
They've got a nice selection of vehicles with them. In fact, you're going to see a sample of the UTV coming up through from Oneida Valley. Based off Route 38 is their main location, but they serve a wide area just outside of the city of Butler. Got their brush truck coming up through, rescue truck as well. Those UTVs are something very handy nowadays, especially in emergency rescues and for brush fires, which, you know, we get through the months of winter and everything dries up and crisps up. You get into the spring and they deal with a lot of brush fires, especially some of the fires that are started by the trains, because they have a big hub of their section that they serve, their area that they serve, that the trains go through, and it could be very dry in that region, and they always battle that every spring.
We thank all the first responders that are in our area. We do appreciate all the hard work that you do and all that you're up against. And if anyone wants to volunteer, get in contact with your local volunteer fire department. They'd be glad to talk to you.
You see the Grinch being represented on the back of the UTV.
Again, a couple of special thank you. Are you going to sing it? Are you going to sing it, Bob? Go ahead. Butler City Fire Department, also Fred Vero Photography. Fred is taking some nice shots of the parade for us tonight. He has such an eye for that. So thank you so much for doing that. First English Lutheran Church, thank you as well. Armstrong, of course, television coverage. It's so wonderful to have a partnership with Armstrong. And of course, Matt Lutz is behind the camera today. So that will be airing, I believe, well, as you're watching this, it would already be airing, but it will be airing multiple times throughout the particular few months here coming up, or the next month, I should say. Spirit of Christmas Parade Committee as well. Thank you so much for all the hard work that you've done.
Got some of their older vehicles coming through here too. Tanker trucks. Township and Oneida Valley. Beautiful looking machines. So they brought everybody down tonight.
They did. They did. A lot of different folks and four-legged friends down here as well, if you can hear. We appreciate everyone coming down for the 55th Annual Spirit of Christmas Parade. Of course, this is presented to you by Peoples. Peoples, of course, is the largest natural gas distribution company in Pennsylvania, providing reliable, low-cost natural gas service to approximately 700,000 customers.
Keeping with our superhero theme tonight, next up you're going to see the Trinity Presbyterian Church with their Caped Crusaders for Christ float. They're located on Staley Avenue in Butler Township, and they want the community to know that we all are awesome. But you can see the Caped Crusaders for Christ float and the superheroes that are on there representing.
I see an Incredible. I do see an Incredible down there.
Superhero handing out some treats along the parade route. Some other superheroes assisting.
Next up, of course, you're going to see another fire engine, and this is a vintage fire engine. And if you are into fire engines, this is a treat for you. And even if you're not well versed in fire engines, it's just a spectacular vehicle to see. Up next, of course, is this 1987 Ford C8000. That's what it is. It's a fire engine from the Southwest PA Car Collection. I believe it's Mark Kozak is the one who has this collection. The fire truck was formerly owned and in service with the Louisville, Ohio Fire Department for over 30 years. And it's now a part of Mark's private collection. So it's fantastic that he brought this out tonight. Slippery Rock High School Marching Band, they're making their way up Main Street. The band is being presented tonight again by the law office of Dylan McCandless, King, Coulter, and Graham. Slippery Rock High School Band is directed by Les Fine and has 49 members playing and another 23 marching members. And they will be performing next year at Disney. Let's give them a listen. Woo. You know, Bob, there's another Grinch in the back of the Slippery Rock Rockets marching band truck as they roll along through the parade.
Go Rockets. As the snow gets a little bit thicker, it is definitely a Christmas kind of atmosphere tonight as we present you the 55th annual Spirit of Christmas Parade in downtown Butler, presented by Peoples and the Butler Radio Network. And coming up next is Butler Baseball, Butler Youth Baseball, the leading baseball organization in Butler area, teaching life lessons that build stronger individuals and communities. Through their division of Little League Baseball, they provide an opportunity for children ages 4 through 16 to have a positive baseball experience. To learn more about the Butler Youth Baseball program, visit them online at ButlerYouthBaseball.com.
Oh, coming in, Bob. Coming in. We had a couple of baseballs thrown our way. Here comes another one. Oh, good catch. Not so much of a, well, no, you didn't catch it, did you?
It hit the snow and skidded off to the turf.
Sure, it was a nice throw, not so much of a good catch. That's fantastic. They look like large snowballs, don't they? They look like fantastic snowballs. A perfect snowball for tonight. It's Spider-Man. That is our family's, well, at least one of our family's favorites is Spider-Man. Now, Spider-Man is on top of the Clear Choice Enterprises vehicle, and they are next representing Gotham City. So not just Spider-Man, but Clear Choice Enterprises is locally owned. Real estate, of course, is their main focus, proudly serving Western Pennsylvania and specializing in residential, commercial, and property management. When you need real estate help, and then call them. They'll be there just like Batman and Spider-Man.
Some other superheroes that are dressed up tonight in their own fur. We're talking about
it's
the Butler County 4-H Alpacas. The pack is open to all youth age 8 to 18. Some own their own alpacas. Others borrow animals from the Asgard Acres Alpaca Farm to learn and work with them. The club meets monthly to learn and teach others about alpacas. Alpacas are very trainable and kid-friendly. Always love seeing them out at fairs and farm shows.
I see some Ninja Turtles a part of this next group here. This looks like Santa's workshop, as a matter of fact. And they found some new elves helping out, superheroes, of course. You got some more Incredibles walking along the path here. Our next float, of course, is the friends that we have from Newfound Automotive at the top of Newcastle Hill.
There's an example of the Breaking Bread initiative from Armstrong. They've got their own superheroes, Breaking Bread man and woman. Breaking Bread is Armstrong's initiative to feed the hungry in our community, and non-perishable food donations can be dropped off at any time at any Armstrong office. And you can see the shopping carts that are full of items that you can simply drop off. If you're out shopping this holiday season, pick up a couple of non-perishables, drop them off at the Armstrong office. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
And as we continue, we have more emergency vehicles coming through. This, of course, is represented from the Meridian location, but it's Butler Township because they have merged in the past year or two, a handful of years. And so they have their ladder truck right in front of you at this point. They have a tanker truck coming through as well.
Now that ladder truck is actually based out of the Lindora location. You can see that right off the Avenue location. They have different locations scattered about Butler Township to serve the community. But that was one of the ladder trucks that was used before the city of Butler actually was able to get their own new one in. That was one that was used in the city of Butler. There's an assistant quite a bit. So it's great to have those beautiful pieces of equipment and very expensive pieces of equipment on display tonight.
They also have their rescue truck that is coming through as well.
Coming up behind them, you're going to see a fully sized tractor trailer coming through. And this is a very special opportunity for you to see some other angles of superheroes. We talk about our first responders. Well, now we talk about not only first responders, but men and women who have served our country and keep us free. This is the West Sunbury American Legion Riders, Post 243, and they're calling this the Night Train Trucking, honoring the true superheroes that you see displayed on their float. Firefighters, our doctors, our nurses, law enforcement, military men and women. It's great to see them here tonight and participating. When they heard the theme about superheroes, the West Sunbury American Legion Riders said, hey, we've got to be a part of this. We're going to put a float together that displays some of the great people that serve our country thanklessly.
We thank them for being in the parade tonight once again. And this, of course, is the 55th annual Spirit of Christmas Parade in downtown Butler, being brought to you by Peoples, of course. And also, we've been talking about the Red Kettle campaign as well. We think that's very important this year, and we would like to continue helping them out as the Butler Radio Network. We've been talking how you can donate. Of course, you can access the opportunity online at butlerradio.com. You can access all three of our stations from that point and get onto those websites. You also have the texting option that we've mentioned, but also, Bob, the Red Kettles this year, I understand, have QR codes. So if you don't have a penny or a dime or a dollar, there's still another way to give.
That's right. If you have downloaded QRs, if you go to concerts or you have opportunities to buy via your phone, you can now do that right at the Red Kettle. So if you're coming out after you're doing maybe some grocery shopping, because that's always a thing nowadays. I carry a card, don't have the change in my pocket. But you can now take your phone and zap up onto the QR code, and you can automatically give some money.
It's an easy way to give.
You can see Girl Scout Troop 2462. They're a multi-level Girl Scout troop based out of the Slippery Rock area school district. They have girls from kindergarten through 8th grade, and they are celebrating everyday superhero girls tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. They do a fantastic job, and what a wonderful group.
I think they have some candy as they've been carting it up Main Street as well and handing out to the crowd.
Well, 2021 actually, Bob, marks the 26th year that employees of Butler, Buick, GMC, Mazda have been donating food to area food banks. And what started as a friendly competition between dealership departments actually has evolved into a two-team dealership competition with donations from employees and customers and local businesses as well. And if you see this truck rolling through as well as it passes you and the camera, you're going to see a lot of food in the back of that truck. So over the years, more than 450,000 pounds of food has been donated to local food banks. So thank you for Butler for doing that.
And one of their key people at Butler is a gentleman named Matt Keene. We'll say happy birthday, Matt.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Coming up after the Butler Buick GMC Mazda float, you're going to have an opportunity to see Miss Butler County. She is on a float that is celebrating superheroes among us, with doctors, EMTs, firefighters, and nurses coming through, riding the float. Miss Butler County is a local competition in the Miss America system that hosts a yearly competition for Miss Butler County, Miss Moraine State, along with corresponding teen titles. They are recognizing superheroes among us tonight. Following them is one of the parade sponsors in TJ Maxx.
And I love how this is done every year because, yeah, Mr. Claus, Santa's going to come down here in just a minute. But who comes first, right? Mrs. Claus. She's presented by and being escorted by our friends at TJ Maxx. Mrs. Claus is, of course, riding in a horse-drawn carriage provided by Misty Lane Farms Performance Horses. The team is being driven by Mindy Stoops. And there's so much fun to see Mrs. Claus come through the parade. And, of course, Santa will be coming.
Next, you have Mandy's Dance Studio. They're our local entry from Evans City Road. Mandy's offers a variety of recreational and competitive classes for all ages, from toddler to adult. They focus on family values, dedication, and top-notch dance education, including tap, ballet, jazz, and even hip-hop.
Butler Midget Football, they are next in our parade, and they have been an important part of local sports all the way since 1948. And they had playoff or Super Bowl teams for the last 4 years, if I understand that right, Bob. The program is for players ages 6 to 13, and it helps develop and promote hard work and sportsmanship and teamwork. And they have over 150 players, along with flag football for young players and a dance team, and also cheerleaders. That's why you see the cheerleaders coming first here, I believe. Some cheer in the back, and then of course you got the big float right in the middle.
How about it? And a group of young people on the float as well, singing Christmas tunes. Yeah, they've had great success over the last handful of years, and that's going to contribute and carry right up through the Butler High School system. Of course, the Butler High School football team has had tremendous success making the playoffs this year, their first winning season since 1997. Keep an eye out for these young people. They'll be coming up through, and I'm sure playing as the Golden Tornado down the road. Great representation tonight. Congratulations on another successful season. Next up is something very unique. We saw the alpacas just a few minutes ago. Now we're going to get a sampling of goats. Members of the Butler County 4-H Goat Club, Caprine Connection. They raise dairy and market and breeding goats, and their goal is to educate and empower the youth of our county. They learn to care for and show the goats, as well as the importance of helping others through their service projects. You know, Tracy, every year we have the opportunity during the Butler Farm Show time period to meet some of the 4-H'ers, and I had an opportunity to visit with 4 specific members of 4-H this year and talk to them about raising an animal like they do and getting it ready for show and sale. And it is remarkable, the people behind this, and you can tell they're future leaders without a doubt.
Absolutely. The Salvation Army is up next, representing everyday superheroes in our pastors, teachers, healthcare workers, as well as emergency and disaster responders. The Salvation Army of Butler has been serving the community for nearly 125 years, providing meals, financial assistance, and worship services as well. The Butler Radio Network, of course, a proud sponsor with them today with the Salvation Army's Red Kettle Challenges we have been talking about throughout the parade. And now through December 4th on our radio stations, you can go to each of our radio stations' website or butlerradio.com as well, and you can donate to your favorite station. On behalf of it, all goes to the Red Kettle campaign.
You know, they've served almost 10,000 men, women, and children in the last year alone, right here in Butler. And the money you donate this year is going right here, staying right here in Butler. Now you see the Butler County Chamber of Commerce and the Butler Downtown joining forces with their gingerbread-themed float. These two groups are working together every day using their superpowers to help keep Butler businesses alive and growing and making our community a great place to live, work, and play.
And when we're talking about superheroes, you may see some Star Wars kind of themes there with some of the folks that are walking down the main street of Butler. And here comes the Butler City Fire Department, a full-time, 24/7 professional department with 20 full-time and 3 part-time, highly trained volunteers. I should say volunteers. They're firefighters. They're paid firefighters under the leadership of Chief Chris Watala.
And you can see the very first of the trucks is that brand new ladder truck that we referred to. This was a long time waiting. There was a lot of anxious time on whether or not it would be something that they could accomplish. They had that desire, but these are so expensive. But it was great work by everybody involved to make it happen, and the city is now protected with its own fire truck, ladder truck, once again.
And again, right behind the city fire trucks, another banner from the Butler Radio Network. Of course, the Butler Radio Network owns WYSR, WBUT, and WLER. And actually, not only can you hear AM, you can hear FM on all 3. So it is wonderful to be able to do that. And Bob, I'm just going to go ahead and lead into the next, where you can announce the big guy coming through. But next is the Golden Tornado Marching Band, presented tonight by McDonald's Restaurants of Butler. Under the direction of Jeff Croner, the band has 122 playing members and another 48 marching members. Now, over the years, they've performed in many high-profile parades. That includes the Rose Bowl, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, Fiesta Bowl, Disney's Holiday Parade. You got the Kentucky Derby Parade, and apparently they're going to be heading to Disney in December to perform once again. Tonight, they are performing Santa's Parade.
the spirit of the colors of Christmas.
I love that. We were just talking about the Butler Band coming in tonight, and my son, who's in the crowd somewhere, he said, there's 122 members. I'm like, well, yeah, but then you have more in the auxiliary teams as well. So, yes, a tremendous band.
And I think one Tracy Morgan has some experience with that.
Oh, yes. I love the Butler Band in it when I was in high school. That was, I think, a couple years ago. But anyway, just a couple years ago.
Well, the moment you've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, as this parade began and the snow began to fall and we wrap up a Thanksgiving weekend and work our way toward the big holiday of Christmas, led by Shaner Automotive. The team at Shaner's keeps Santa's sleigh in tip-top condition for his long journey around the world on Christmas Eve. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, led by the crew at Shaner that works so very hard to keep that sleigh ready to go, the big man himself to wrap things up from this Spirit of Christmas parade. Santa's arrival always marks the official start of the Christmas season here in Butler County, and you'll see Santa coming up through Main Street here in his arrival as he starts to really hit high gear, getting ready to pack that sleigh in just a few weeks down the road. It's great to have Santa back in town, and of course our thanks to the folks at Shaner Automotive. Again, do a great job. They always present as well an opportunity for some of our local veterans to do the Pledge of Allegiance on WBUT every Monday morning after the 6 a.m. news, and we thank them for that sponsorship and saluting our great country. And there he is, the big man himself, Tracy.
It is fantastic. It's Santa. Welcome. Welcome back to Butler, and Merry Christmas as we continue getting into the holidays and the start of the holidays. And Bob, it has been wonderful to be able to be here with you tonight and watch Santa kind of close out the parade so everyone can continue this holiday spirit. And it's been a wonderful sense with community in this past many months, past couple of years, as a matter of fact, of us helping each other. So we thank everyone for coming out tonight. And of course, wrapping up the entire thing would be the CB Rangers that we have thanked multiple times. And Bob, before we go, just a special thanks to Westminster Church for their work, and the CB Rangers and the City Police and Mayor Ben Smith, of course. You just make a snowball.
Making little snowballs.
You're collecting all the snow on the table for a snowball.
That's out of my book.
The Butler City Fire Department, Fred Vero, First English Lutheran, Armstrong, of course, and the Spirit of Christmas Parade Committee.
Absolutely. Talking about Westminster Church, they do such great work well in the early part of this day in the organization of everything that is staged here for the parade tonight. So they're an invaluable resource for us, and thanks to everybody involved in the parade committee. They work year-round on this, making it happen, and I know they were very excited to get back to work to make it happen for downtown Butler tonight to kick everybody's season off the right way.
Absolutely. TJ Maxx, Rural King, Law Office of Dillon McCandless, King, Coulter, and Graham, Shaner Automotive, McDonald's Restaurant, and of course, Peoples. Thank you so much for joining us today. Oh, I thought that was the bigger snowball. He's collecting snow to keep throwing snowballs around. But thank you so much. Have a wonderful Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Bob.
Merry Christmas, Tracy Morgan. Thanks to Matt Lutz and everybody at Armstrong for presenting the Spirit of Christmas Parade for the 55th year in downtown Butler. May your season be merry and bright, and we'll see you again next year from downtown Butler.
If you're a team player who loves providing excellent customer service, begin your Armstrong career as a technical support representative. We have full and part-time openings in Butler. Many of our Armstrong supervisors and managers started their careers at our customer service center, and you can too. We have open positions now starting at $17 per hour with great benefits and free broadband services. To apply, visit agoc.com/careers or call Heather today.